Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. Several roads remain closed tonight here in Lowndes County as floodwaters continue to rise. Along Highway 373, Stinson Creek and Barton Ferry roads are closed, and the Corps of Engineers has shut down Dwayne Hayes Campground. EMA Director Cindy Lawrence says that Bridge, Duncan, Frisco, Alomar, Gatlin, and Hodges Shelton roads, those are also closed to traffic until further notice. Wilkins Wise Road and Nash roads, they're also closed at Waverly Ferry Road. Now, there could be some good news on the horizon. It does look like the rain may be moving out soon. For more information, we'll send things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Hey, Keith.
Hey, Scott. Yeah, the rain will be out of here later tonight, but let's recap what we have had today. Some spooky clouds, some gusty storms moving across the region. That was at MSU. And we saw those clouds move through the Columbus area, and that's how it looked at the base. So the bark worse than the bite. Just one severe thunderstorm warning in our area today. Some gusty winds and some very heavy downpours. The severe threat's done, but look at the rain. We still have the rain out there right now, and it looks like the potential for additional rain anywhere from a ½ inch to over 1.5 inches yet tonight. And this is what we've already had over the last 12 hours, another ½ inch to 1+ inches. And we may double that again as we go throughout the course of the night. But here's the good news here. Wet now. The showers are expected to be done by 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. The clouds will hold tough for a good chunk of our day. It will be much colder tomorrow. Temperatures in the 40s. Winds will pick up from the northwest. A bit breezy at times here. Much cooler overall, but we will start that drying process, Scott. And we are looking at some winter-like air tomorrow night and Friday. We'll show you that 7-day coming up.
Well, it was 1 week ago today the news broke of what's been called the largest public embezzlement case in state history. That scheme involved officials and grantees of the State Department of Human Services and over $4 million in embezzled government money. Now, this is the first time that anyone from DHS has gone on camera to answer questions about what happened and what they've changed to prevent the problem from happening again. Courtney Ann Jackson shares those new perspectives from DHS.
Uncovering the scheme goes back further than you may realize. Executive Director John Davis was 2.5 years into his time as head of the agency when they decided to add an Office of Inspector General within DHS.
So there really hadn't been the internal auditing capability, the program integrity capability before that we had at that point that was created.
And they did start an internal audit at the beginning of 2019. When it comes to finding the misspending detailed in these indictments, this was the atmosphere at the agency at the time.
People may have identified or suspected that something was amiss, but because of the atmosphere that was created, the atmosphere of fear and intimidation, they were afraid to say anything or question anything for fear of losing their jobs.
As we reported, the Mississippi Community Education Center, or MCEC, was a sub-grantee receiving TANF dollars that first flowed through DHS. We confirmed that it was John Davis who was making those approvals on the money.
He had the latitude to unilaterally disperse funds as he felt necessary or wanted to.
There's a lot of flexibility given for how states use TANF funds, so there was nothing illegal about those transfers, only how it was spent after that.
The complexity of the cover-up was as such that it would have been highly unlikely that anybody would have uncovered it except by being able to find it from within.
After DHS employees reported their findings to the governor, the auditor was notified and the investigation was launched. Since then, the sub-grantee process has changed.
That all TANF funds will go through the RFP process. That's to create the transparency, that's to be open with how funds are distributed and who they're going to.
They've also started bringing in sub-grantees for training on what's expected and how they can best meet federal guidelines.
So all of this is being put in place to make sure that the sins of the past never recur in the future.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
We'll, of course, continue to follow this case and update you as new developments are made available. Now, the auditor's office has made it clear that the investigation is ongoing and more arrests are still possible. A solar power company celebrates its agreement with TVA and its move to Lowndes County. The deal with the Tennessee Valley Authority allows Origis Energy to move forward with its solar facility. The solar plant will generate and store 200 megawatts of electricity that will be sent to TVA. The plant will be on 2,000 acres near Charlie Ford Jr. Drive. About 650,000 solar panels will generate the electricity.
Not only will they have the largest solar facility in the state of Mississippi, it will also be the case that that will attract new businesses, as a lot of Fortune 500 and other companies, industrial companies, they are interested in sustainability and are more and more interested in green energy.
They went over the timeline of how long it would take to do the environmentals, construction, and actual production of power. And we look at it as a benefit because many Fortune 500 companies now are wanting renewable power. They're wanting new to the world power.
The facility should be fully functional in late 2022. A new partnership between East Mississippi Community College and Mississippi State University could help career technical students move from the production line to the front office. MSU's new Bachelor's of Applied Sciences degree is designed to help people move up in the manufacturing field. And as our Bobby Martinez finds, an agreement with EMCC may make getting that degree a little easier.
You don't have to stop in higher education any longer. You can keep going.
Starting a college career is a huge step for students, with the ultimate goal was to receive a degree in a respected field. At EMCC, students enrolled in technical education programs could only go as high as an associate's degree. Credits were not transferable for four-year schools, so students had to start from scratch. But now that has changed. EMCC President Dr. Scott Alsobrooks said the memorandum of understanding lets students know the sky is now the limit.
I think that students will see that these technical career paths and technical degrees do not have a ceiling. You know, in the past there was kind of a ceiling to all of this. Now there's no ceiling. And like Dr. Keenum said, now you can get a BAS, maybe you go on and get a master's and a PhD, maybe you go on and get some other type of specialty degree, but there's no, you don't stop.
MSU President Dr. Mark Keenan said this will open the door for many working Mississippians with a degree who want to further their education.
We want to give as many opportunities for an individual to continue their education. We're seeing more today are requiring more education beyond high school. Many require at least an associate's degree. But we're seeing even more jobs, and jobs that are coming in the future, they're going to be requiring even more and more education.
Alsobrooks said this deal will hopefully be the first of many more to come.
So the more opportunities that we can create and MOUs that we can sign that are formally structured, that creates that pathway, it's better for our students.
To learn more on how you can apply to the new program, visit our website, WCBI.com. Well, Northeast Mississippi Community College gets top rankings for its online learning initiatives. The school has been ranked #1 in the state for online education among all higher education institutions. It's also ranked #2 in the nation among all community colleges and first for its math degree. NEMCC has a large enrollment in its online course offerings.
With online education being such a big deal and providing an opportunity for so many people to get an education that don't have time to go to class, don't have time to attend a college during the day, they're usually working, but it provides a great opportunity to be able to enhance and get a higher degree.
You don't have to come and take 5 classes. You can be a part-time student, take 1 class. I know when I was working, I took a class at a time online so that I could obtain further degrees.
The rankings were made by OnlineDegrees.com. All right, we're going to send things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, it's hard to believe Friday baseball starts.
Baseball begins.
Take me out to the ball.
Well,
hey, let's go.
Okay, well, I don't know. It's going to be chilly.
Okay,
but it will be
maybe
dry.
not.
Look,
all right.
Got good news and bad news here. Sun returns. For the MSU home opener, temperatures will be in the mid to maybe upper 40s. In Oxford, we start out in the low 40s, and then we will end up somewhere in the 30s, but at least it will be dry. I'm back with your full forecast next.
Weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
More wet weather out there this evening. Let's just forget about that for a split second and talk about Friday date night. It's Valentine's Day, and you will need to cuddle for warmth here Friday evening. Temperatures in the 30s, but hey, the trade-off will be Nice, quiet weather with not a raindrop in sight. Today, though, with our Alpha Insurance Camera Network, clouds, rain, storms, flooding, we have everything going on out there. Thankfully, the severe weather situation today was not as bad as it otherwise could have been. We had some wind gusts, there were some trees that came on down, and we had some power line issues in places, but overall, a minor event in the big picture of severe weather in North Mississippi and West Alabama. But we still have the rain out there locally. This goes all the way back down into Louisiana. So as we go through the night, all of this will be shifting from west to east, and we'll tap into some drier air starting tomorrow. The clouds will hold tough, but at least we'll dry things out. Anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to maybe over 1.5 inches of additional rain tonight. Here's a drone shot from the flooded area in the Columbus vicinity right there just south of downtown. You can see how wet it is right there at the 82 exit. So extremely high water. The Tenn has come up 3 feet today, just over 163 feet at the gauge at the lock and dam. It may go up another foot here over the next 24 hours before we go down this weekend. So these flooding issues will continue for at least 4 or 5 more days across our region. So that was the Stennis Lock and Dam in Columbus. The Luxapalila Creek on the east side of town, still very, very high, flirting about 121 or 21.5 feet here, maybe close to 22. A gradual descent towards the weekend. Your Buttahatchee River stage near Aberdeen, we are above flood stage. That will continue through the weekend. The Tombigbee at Amory, I think it, for the most part, has crested, but it may go up a little bit to incorporate the rain we're getting right now, but things will improve by the weekend. The Noxubee River at Macon will stay above flood stage through the weekend. So things will be slow to improve, but as we get into the weekend and get some dry air in here, things will get better. 60 southeast, 48 in Oxford right now. Drier, cooler air coming on in. By the time you wake up in the morning, we are down into the 40s. Here's Roxy, our Emerson Animal Hospital First Alert forecast. You can see she will be enjoying temperatures in the 40s tomorrow. A lot of cloud cover for a good chunk of the day, but at least it will be on the drier side here. So that cooler, drier air will come on in behind the cold front that has been moving on through. Clouds hold tough tomorrow. We'll clear it out late, and then high pressure settles in for your Friday and Saturday. And that means sunshine. What is sun? We just don't even know at this point. So we will enjoy at least 2 good days here, Friday and Saturday, but it will be chilly. Overnight lows here will be back into the 20s Friday morning and Saturday morning. 62 Sunday, some showers are possible. More rain next week.
Well, if you're a sports fan, this has got to be one of your favorite times of the year. Basketball, baseball, and softball all taking to the field and court. Tom has a little bit more later in sports. Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about heart health this week, and arterial diseases, they can be damaging to the heart. We learn more about a specific one in our Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hemraj Makwana, interventional cardiologist and a part of the cardiology team at Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle. Tonight, I want to talk to you about peripheral artery disease. Peripheral artery disease, or PAD, is a very common condition affecting millions of people worldwide, including more than 8 million people in the United States. General awareness of the disease is very low, which means there are many people who suffer from PAD who go undiagnosed or untreated. PAD develops when there is a buildup of fatty material called plaque inside your arteries. The plaque deposits cause your arteries to stiffen and become narrowed or blocked, limiting supply of oxygen-rich blood throughout your body. People with lower extremity PAD often have pain or discomfort while walking or going about their daily activities. Hardening of the arteries and plaque buildup is normal as you grow older. Certain risk factors, including behaviors, conditions, or habits, can lead to developing PAD sooner. The more risk factors you have, the higher chances of developing PAD. Approximately half of the individuals with PAD are undiagnosed because they are asymptomatic or have atypical symptoms like cramping, weakness, or heaviness in legs. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle.
Olca is the home of one of the best scorers in the state of Mississippi. We hit the hardwood with our Athlete of the Week next in sports.
Here's sports with Tom Ebel.
The Holka Wildcats have more than doubled its win total from a year ago. A big reason behind that being senior Deshaun Berry. Berry's been a man amongst boys this season. Whether it's coming to scoring the rock or collecting the boards, the senior can do it all. Our Chris Bolton goes one-on-one with our Athlete of the Week.
Holka point guard Deshaun Berry is a certified baller.
We have a rule: he must touch the ball every possession. And that doesn't mean he has to shoot at each possession, but he needs to touch it.
This season, the senior Wildcat is averaging a staggering 33 points and 11 rebounds a game. While Berry might be the one taking the shots, he says it's his fellow Wildcats who help him shine.
I learned how to shoot better, so then I learned how my teammates move, where they want the ball, when they want the ball, and I just use them to help me out.
According to Holka head coach Seth Burke, Berry might as well live in the gym. That's how often you can find him in there, practicing and perfecting his game. Of course, practice makes perfect. However, the Wildcat scoring leader does what a lot of basketball greats have done throughout the years: draw inspiration from the best players that came before. Berry credits former teammate and Itawamba Community College standout Medarius Hobson for his play.
I learned a lot from him. Just watch him, how he carried himself in practice. I try to be just like him and take it on the court and play just like him.
Over 2,500 career points later, Berry says it was Hobson who inspired him to be such an offensive threat.
When I was about 7th grade, 8th grade, and you hear about Medarius scoring all these points, I was like, I want to try it. And, God let it happen.
It's safe to say the man who had the greatest impact on Berry's game is the late, great Jimmy Guy McDonald.
When I was maybe 6th grade, 7th grade, he used to let me practice with the high schoolers when I was younger, and I just knew he was just a great person. No matter what nobody said about him, he was just a great person.
He had talked to me about Deshaun, from the time he was in the 7th grade. Just couldn't wait to get him up there in high school, and he coached Deshaun hard. He did. And I think that he saw the same things that we all saw in him. He knew he had a chance to be special.
As Berry leads Holka into the playoffs, he keeps in mind the words his former coach told him.
He always told me no matter what, wherever I go, he always going to be with me, no matter what, NBA, college, whatever. He said he always going to be with me right beside me.
Berry takes everything he's learned to the hardwood Thursday as Holka opens up district tournament play against Okolona. Reporting from Holka, Chris Bolton, WCBI Sports.
Great story from Chris there. Softball back in Starkville. Mississippi State looking to stay perfect in the early season, taking on Alabama State. Fale Lua, first pitch she saw, sends this one to outer orbit. Bulldogs up 2-0 after one, tied 2-2 now in the third. Madison Kennedy, her first career home run. The freshman's a 3-run bomb off the scoreboard and left. Bulldogs tack on 8 runs in the third. And Briley St. Clair, another talented freshman, adding on to that. This one stays just inside the yard. RBI triple for the freshman, brings home another run. So the Bulldogs just dominating at this point, up 11-2. Now 14-2 in the bottom of the fourth. Leilua one more time. You thought that the first one went to orbit. This one landed at Highway 182 somewhere. I don't even know if that ball even landed at this point today. Samantha Ricketts and the Bulldogs. First-year head coach Samantha Ricketts at that. Remain undefeated on the early season. They defeat Alabama State 16-2. Mississippi State undefeated with Aquana Brownlee on the roster as well. Houston, Mississippi, stand up for another talented freshman on the Bulldogs roster. Speaking of sticking into the diamond, Scott, Mississippi State baseball, the weather's been wacky the past couple of days. The Bulldogs making some changes to its opening day schedule. Instead of first pitch being at 4, now a 1 p.m. first pitch on Friday as the Bulldogs begin the 2020 campaign against Wright State this weekend. No other changes have been made to the series as of this moment. Ole Miss still scheduled to play top-ranked Louisville at 4 p.m. on Friday as well. Get a little chilly, I guess, Scott. We've got to bundle up for some baseball.
Just a little bit, but hey, that sun's going to be out, and it's going to be
We love that. I'll take it.
Definitely.
I'll take it.
Thanks, Tom. We'll have less look at your forecast when we come back.
WCBI Sports Player of the Week is brought to you by C-Spire and Canon. Nobody had a better game than this Player of the Week, and nobody beats a Canon deal. Nobody.
Tom, look at this rain in Starkville.
Enough.
Enough already. We are sick and tired of it, Mother Nature. We have the rain out there tonight, just leading to more flooding problems out there. But we'll start to dry it out tomorrow. All that sunshine Friday, mostly sunny Saturday. So let's just focus on those 2 days.
Agreed.
The sun
Agreed.
on Friday with baseball begins.
Watch out for your eyes too, because we haven't seen sun for so long that
It's going to shock us.
It will.
Or blind us. All right.
It do.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll have a